21 with no kids. All right, what's good? I'm back for another video. I was just chewing on something, excuse me. I just got back from seeing the Black Phone. Deer. Deer broke into someone's house. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I just got back from seeing the Black Phone 2. Now, I did get the chance to see it, the first Black Phone back in 2022 with my mom, and that was really good. I even have it on Blu-ray. So I was very much so looking forward to the sequel. I was curious as to how they were gonna do a sequel to begin with, considering that, spoiler alert, the grabber dies at the end of the first movie. Basically, what they do here is they basically take a Nightmare on Elm Street route. He's dead. He's still dead, but he's attacking specifically Gwen in her dreams to get back at Finney. So in the first movie, the focus is obviously Finney because he's the one being kidnapped. But in this movie, Finney takes a bit of a backseat, and it's much more so Gwen's story this time around. And it was really good. I'm sorry, I just got a text. It was really good. I was hearing mixed opinions on this film. Thankfully, I blocked it all out. I can confidently say that I enjoyed this movie, and it's low key better than the first movie. Like, I feel like the highs in this movie is really, it's there. So first things first, let me say there is not a high body count. Nobody really dies. Let's get that out the way. Besides the main three boys that go missing at the camp that the movie takes place at, Alpine, I'm pretty sure, Alpine camp. No one else dies. The grabber doesn't attack anyone else besides, well, he does attack people. He attacks people, but his main target is Gwen. And there's not a lot of violence, but when there is, it's nice. And in terms of the cinematography and score, it's good. It's the intro song is the same intro as in the first movie. The din, 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 din. I'm not doing it justice, but you know what I mean. And the visuals of when Gwen is dreaming, it's a very specific style. So that you as the audience know, okay, she's in a dream. It's really stylistically, it's really beautiful, and it's really just visually pleasing to look at, as well as creepy and unnerving. Now, this movie doesn't have as many jump scares as the first one, which low-key I appreciate it. I didn't really care for the jump scares in the first one, even though they were pretty effective. This one, when it happens, it's like ooh, but it doesn't really it's not as frequent, if I do say so myself. So yeah, we follow Finney again. It's been a few years since everything happened. He's basically become kind of a rebel. He's not dealing with his trauma very well. He's been smoking, getting into fights. He's just very angry all the time. And Gwen, she's bald now. I don't really know why they cut her hair, but I think it kind of works for this movie. But yeah, she's just she has short hair now, not as bald as me, but shorter hair. And we get reintroduced to them. In the first movie, the main theme is the sibling bond between Gwen and Finney, and it's the same thing here. It's very prominent, very evident. And they're just trying to move on and deal with their trauma. We get introduced to Ernesto, who is Robin's little brother, played by Miguel Mora, who is the same actor who played Robin in the 2022 film. So he's reprising his role just as a different person, Ernesto is fine. He's fine. Not as good as Robin, but he's chill. He's chill. He's the love interest to Gwen. So there's that. As for the father, he's better this time around. He's less abusive. He uses his words, instead of tweaking. He's getting off of the drinking, so that's good. But their relationship is still a little iffy here and there. But for the most part, it's better. So Gwen starts having these dreams, and it's the grabber coming back from the dead. And it's about this camp. The film opens up with this woman played by Anna Camp, who was in Final Destination Bloodlines. She played Julia, and she got her head and arm like crushed in the garbage disposal, which was a neat kill in that movie. So Anna Camp plays the mom, Gwen and Finney's mom, which I wasn't expecting that. I thought she was just going to be another background character, as well as a few of the others. But no, this is their mom. And it starts off with her having a phone call at the camp, and later on it's revealed that it's Gwen talking to her through the dream. And basically throughout the movie, she gets these three prominent dreams that are of the three boys that got killed at the camp and went missing. So essentially the grabber, this was those three boys, the missing boys at the camp. They were his first victims, and the mom went to the camp with him, was working at the camp. It's like a Christian youth camp. Then it closed down, and they never found the boys' bodies. And that's basically it. They don't delve deep into the grabber's backstory, which I appreciate, because once you do that, it could get a little messy. They just say where it all began, like where he started killing, not why he started killing, just where he started killing, and it was at that camp. And they delve deeper into the family lore of the mom specifically and why she killed herself. Spoiler alert, she didn't kill herself. She ended up having a dream of the first kid that went missing in the first movie, the paper boy. And she goes to investigate. She goes to the grabber's house, and the grabber kills her and then makes it seem like she committed suicide. And that's how she died. So I thought that was really cool and really neat, that everything about this film really ties well into the first film. Even some of the dialogue, if you watch that first film and you really paid attention, a lot of the dialogue is reused. Like when Finney was beating on that boy in the beginning, Gwen was like, "Why'd you have to do that?" And he was like, something about, you gotta, more blood, the better. You gotta it makes a stronger point. And that's what Robin told him in the first movie. So there's a lot of parallels and callbacks between the two. And I think it was really well executed overall. Now, they end up going to the camp to see what's going on because Gwen is just getting terrorized in her dreams. Now, this is like, people would compare this to Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the closest thing we've gotten to a Nightmare on Elm Street movie in years. It's a bit different, but the elements are there. He can still... He's basically... It's basically another realm, low-key, more than a dream. He can attack people while they're awake in real time, but it's mainly through Gwen being asleep for the most part, but he can still terrorize people regardless. So it makes him low-key more OP than Freddy in certain aspects. Not super OP, but you get what I mean. And overall, the Ethan Hawke's performance as a grabber was great. Mason Thames as a more roughened Finney was fantastic, as well as Madeline McGraw, who plays Gwen. I feel like Gwen really shined. Everything about Madeline's performance was incredible. At one point, they both go through it in this movie. Finney has a breakdown towards the end, and it was really, it hits you in the feels. And it's the same with Gwen, because she feels like she's going crazy. She doesn't know what's happening to her. She thinks that the dreams are a curse. So you really feel that, and they sell the hell out of it, And Mason Thames, he's been having a really good year. He was previously in How to Train Your Dragon, and next week he's going to be in, what's that movie called? Regretting You, which I will be seeing as well. So stay tuned for that. But he's been doing great. He's been doing great. He's had a very solid year. And Madeline McGraw, she's also doing fantastic. I can't wait to see what they're in next in the future. Could I see this becoming a franchise? I'm not sure. Maybe. It depends, really. But if this is the end, I feel like it is a really great ending for this movie. Ignore the background noise. I can't do nothing about that. My nephew's tweaking out there, so just try to ignore that. But yeah, basically throughout the whole movie, Gwen's just getting attacked and shit, and we get introduced to a Armando. I'm pretty sure that's his name, and we also get introduced. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. So yeah, his name is Armando. He has a niece named Mustang, played by Ariana Rivas, who was in A Working Man, and we have two other Christian-y people, Barbara and Kenneth, who are just background characters, really. You know, there to, you know, for the comedic moments. There are a few comedic moments. People were saying that it was taking them out of the experience, but for me personally, Jesus Christ, what am I reading on the news? For me personally, it wasn't that bad. Like, Gwen, she still has a potty mouth. She says some diabolical shit that I couldn't even think of myself. But it never took me out of the experience, for real. So there's that. And yeah, eventually so their plan is to find the missing boys, to put them at rest, because the grabber's using their fear, and since their bodies was never found, that's why he's so powerful. So that's what they do. Gwen ends up fighting back, taking control over her dreams, which is great, and they defeat the grabber, freezing him in the lake in the ice, and that's how it ends. Gwen has an emotional phone call with her mother, which the mother also confirms that Robin says hi. So it's good to know that her and Robin are in a better place now. And yeah, overall, I really liked this movie. I think it's more story driven than horror. The suspense is there. The only drawback really is the fact that it takes its time in certain spots. Certain areas and aspects could have been cut down a little bit, but for the most part, it was really good. And again, the only real drawback is the fact that there aren't any kills. Like, there's a point where the grabber's just like beating on Kenneth and Barbara. He stabs Kenneth, and then Barbara like flips. She hits her face on the ice, and then he like swipes his axe and like slices their forehead, which was cool. But I kind of wish they could have just, he should have just killed them. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, they were easily expendable characters, So would I have liked for them to die? Yeah, but they didn't, so whatever. But yeah, that's really about it, man. I really enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would. And tonight, the grabber actually comes out to Fortnite. So for all the Fortnite players, there's that word. I used to be a Fortnite player. Now I'm more of a casual. Well, I used to be a diehard Fortnite player, but now I'm just more of a casual fan. I will be copping the grabber, though, for sure. Because I've already copped Ghostface. This Fortnite Mirrors has been pretty good. And tomorrow's Jason, so, Word. But yeah, man, that's it. This has been my review for Black Phone 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Go check it out. It was a fun time. And get your opinions on it. Word. That's it. I'm the Hero Light Legend, Terry Figueroa, signing out. Peace.